Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. We're finally playing our first RPG of the month on our probably, I think, our 11th or 12th different game of the month. We're playing using the Dungeons and Dragons system, but we're playing the Mystery of Witchhaven by Obvious Mimic. Now, these aren't official D&D adventures, but they are made by Obvious Mimic. You'll need a 5e character for these, and I actually have a D&D 5e character. I've got my High Elf Wizard and Burrell Amastasia, who's a level 1 character. So you can see all of her, well, you might not be able to read all of her notes there, but we're going to send her into this adventure. I've got all of her background, her backstory stuff as well. But I think we are all set, and we're all set, so let's jump right in. And we will start off at entry 1. Just going to check everything here. I've got all the dice I need. Yep. Okay. So we'll start off with the introduction. There hasn't been a town or village for days, and each time night has fallen, a heavy fog has followed the darkness to hang among the trees and dells. You march to the top of the tallest hill to check on your surroundings and scout a safe place to set up camp. The sun sets behind distant mountains while you admire all of nature's beauty and recover your breath. The oranges, yellows, and pinks in the sky blend with the twilight's intense purples and reds until, eventually, all colors fade with the approaching darkness of the night. The cold wind of the coming winter caresses your face and ruffles the copper-colored leaves around you. Bright stars pepper the east, and in the growing darkness you see a faint light ahead that hints at a small town in the distance. There's no moon to guide you on this night, and the nightly mists hide roots and sinkholes. You spot a clearing nearby strewn with some large stones that would make a decent place to stop and rest. You drop your gear and settle in for a rest. By the time you've made yourself comfortable, the evening mists have snaked out from between the trees and pool across the ground in front of you. Little is visible beyond the clearing except that the vague shadows of tree trunks and hillocks rolling in and out of view. Roll a wisdom perception check. If you get 10 or higher, go to 37. If you get less than 10, go to 23. So wisdom perception for Burrell is... Wisdom is 14, or 16. We have a +3, and we do have the perception. Let me double check. I brought the slipcase in because I wanted to double check what having the extra skill means. If that means an extra plus modifier, or what that's going to translate to. I am using 5e 2014, by the way, if you're wondering what set of rules I'm using. Let's see, that's ability, classes. This is probably not where I want to be. It's been a while since I played D&D. I have played it solo a few times, but personality, background, customization, ability scores. So 173 is probably where I want to start. Alright. Wisdom perception. So proficiency applies. So the profession bonus is it's not really explained here. It's just explaining what the checks are for. We're starting skill proficiencies, but it's still not... There's probably something in here that explains what the proficiencies actually give you. Proficiencies... 14 is probably what I was seeing earlier. Let's see, characters' abilities... Okay, well, it's probably just I was expecting it to be in among the... I was expecting it to be in among where the skills all get explained. Personality and background. Customization options. Let's see, proficiencies. That's not exactly what I want either. Proficiency bonus. Let's go to 173 and see if that gives me any insights. Proficiency bonus. Here we go. Okay. Your proficiency bonus might be doubled. Your proficiency bonus is 0, it looks like. So it looks like we don't have... To double your proficiency bonus. So actually, it looks like that's the bonus is... If we have a proficiency, our stat bonus gets doubled, it looks like. So, because we do have perception and a wisdom check, we do get the bonus doubled. So so this is going to be a +6 on the check. That's a 19 plus 6 is 25. That's way more than 10, so we go to 37. A fleeting scream, too high and quick to be anything but a child's, echoes through the mist-shrouded clearing. Your eyes dart toward the source just in time to glimpse a slight figure, a blonde girl no older than 12, slipping between the twisted trunks at the clearing's edge. Her ragged cloak flutters, betraying the frantic rhythm of her steps as she bolts deeper into the darkness. Partially hidden by the trailing fog, you spot something else moving behind her. A towering silhouette crowned with gnarled antlers. Though the details are hazy, the mere glimpse of that shape sends an unmistakable surge of dread coursing through you. Whatever it is, it seems to be in pursuit of the young girl. Each of its steps unnervingly smooth and measured compared to her panicked flight. You blink, straining to see through the shifting shadows, but the fog quickly swallows both hunter and hunted. For a moment, you wonder if you imagined it all, the desperate child, the monstrous pursuer. Yet the cold sweat on your brow confirms the truth. There is genuine danger in those trees. If you act now, you might be able to follow them before it's too late. You can investigate the figure and the creature following her, go to 2, or remain where you are and gather your wits, go to 42. I think we're going to investigate the creature. So that'll send us to entry 2. Gain inspiration. Inspiration I was glancing at this earlier, and inspiration is explained as a single-use point that allows you to apply advantage to a d20 roll. So I've got my forest dial handy, I'll use that to track my inspiration. So advantage being that you make 2 rolls and take the better of the 2. Disadvantage would obviously be the reverse. You advance through the drifting fog, following another fading scream and the crackling of broken twigs beneath someone's hurried steps now coming toward you. Slower, heavy thuds also reverberate through the night air, seeming to keep pace with the lighter footfalls among the underbrush. Among the tree trunks and roiling fog, you barely make out a small humanoid shape running toward you. Uncomfortably close behind, another gaunt shape is visible in the gloom. Go to 17. Oh joy. So over to 17. Suddenly, a petite figure darts into full view, no more than a few yards away. She's a blonde-haired girl, barely in her teens, clutching what looks like a paint-stained satchel. Several paintbrushes, pencils, and loose pieces of paper poke out of her bag, their bright colors oddly cheerful against the gloom. For a second, her eyes meet yours, fear and curiosity flickering across her face. Then, in a single, fluid motion, she vanishes backwards into the forest as if pulled by an unseen force. You open your mouth to call after her, but your voice catches in your throat. Emerging from behind the mossy trunk of an ancient oak is a towering silhouette, crowned with a massive pair of gnarled antlers. Bark-like plates and tangled vines cover a vaguely humanoid body, the texture of its limbs reminiscent of twisted roots. A skull-like visage peers out from beneath a canopy of bony horns, and trailing moss hangs from its horns, swaying in the night's chill breeze. A reek of damp earth and decaying leaves clings to the creature, and you can almost taste the rot and silence it drags in its wake. It fixes an empty-eyed stare on you, as though weighing your worth. Its posture is strangely measured, limbs unfolding with slow grace, but the tension seething through its form suggests an explosive power coiled beneath the bark-like hide. With a low, rumbling snarl, The creature lunges from the shifting shadows, twisted antlers lowered and skeletal limbs outstretched, intent on rending flesh from bone. You have to fight. Go to 25. 25. Okay. The gaunt creature attacks you with long limbs ending in wicked claws, but as it nears, you also feel its dark presence seem to tug at the essence of your being. If we reduce the creature to 0 HP, go to 1. If you drop to 0 HP, go to 14. If you drop to 0 in any of your ability scores, go to 33. Okay, so it looks like... Jeez. Are we really fighting against this bogey? Looks like it. The gaunt creature, so... Which creature are we looking at? Looks like we probably are looking at this bogey. That seems like way too strong a creature for level 1, but I guess we'll go with it. So we are rolling initiative, it looks like. So actually I'm going to see if I can get something to weigh the book down so I can make sure I've got that should work. All right, I'm going to grab some scratch paper. I should have a writing pad or something in here, but I don't. So let me go grab something to write on. I will be right back. Here we go. I have a pen in here too. You're probably hearing me mumble in the background a little bit. All I've got is a pencil in here, but I'll have to make do with that. Oop. It looks like it's this bogey we're fighting, so I'm going to roll for Burrell's initiative first. She's got a... What does she have? A +2 to her initiative. That's a 3 + 2 is a 5. That's not going to be pretty. And then the bogey's got a +1 on his initiative roll. That's a 15 + 1 is 16. He'll be going first. So... Bogey, we're probably just going to presume everybody's going to end up in melee range. So he's got a... So what does he have? Can move through difficult terrain. Fey resilience, he's got a vine claw. Right? What did we establish? We are... One thing I wish the entries did, and I'm going to go get a clip for this. I'm going to go get a clip. I'll be right back. Admittedly, this is my first time seeing one of these adventures live, and I think one thing I wish that Obvious Mimic would have done at first glance is I wish they would... Call of Cthulhu does this with their Alone adventures, and I wish Obvious Mimic would do this as well. Yikes, we only have 4 HP. One thing I wish Obvious Mimic would do is put in the source entries in case I need to check something. So I'm presuming that we are close enough to be able to melee this thing. So he will go first. He will attack Burrell with his Vine Claw. So he's got a +4 to hit. And we have an armor class of a 12. This is not going to be pretty. 5 + 2 is somehow 7, so that will miss. And then we've got a Ray of Frost. So we'll make a spell check. on this. We need to hit a 13 on our spell check. I'm just going to double check how to roll for spells. I'm presuming it's going to take a check of some kind, probably either intelligence or wisdom to cast the spell. Let's see, spellcasting entries. That's probably 201 to 205 is probably a good place to start with that. I probably should have played like a barbarian or something, but the problem is I've never been drawn to melee characters. Alright. Still not explaining how to actually cast a spell. Okay. Alright, so DM might also decide that certain phenomena to maintain concentration. So it looks like the spell just happens. So we probably are rolling it as an attack. So we'll roll the spell. Combat 189. So we get an action that we get to take. You can move up to a distance and take an action. We are going to be making an attack most likely. There should be a spell attack in here. But of course there is not from the looks of it. So we do make an attack. We're making a spell check on our Ray of Frost. Is that a spell? It probably... Spellcasting... wizard spells... Ray of Frost. Here we are. Ray of Frost. So, increases on a hit, make a ranged spell attack against the target. So we're making a ranged attack against a DC 13. Which that is a natural 13 right on the button, so we do get a hit, which means we'll deal D8 spell damage. We'll deal 4 points of damage. I'm using the island marker to track the bogey's health. Then we're going to retreat away from it. We're going to retreat 30 feet away. What's his speed? 25. So he will still be able to get to us, unfortunately, which he'll move 25 feet, and then he will attack. That one will be a hit. D6 plus 2. We're basically having to play duck and roll with this guy. With this thing. 4 plus 2 is 6 damage. So, plus 2 d4 necrotic damage if we fail. I don't think it really matters though, because we just took our damage. So we got reduced to 0 HP, which sends us to 14. So entry 14. A savage blow from one twisted limb sends you sprawling on the damp earth, gasping for air as pain blooms beneath your ribs. The bogey looms above you for an instant, its ragged antlers casting a nightmarish silhouette in the moonlit mist. Then, with a rasping breath that could almost be mistaken for laughter, it turns away, leaving you battered and bleeding on the cold forest floor. You died. Well, that's delightful. We'll definitely leave Burrell in the library, though. We'll pretend that this adventure didn't happen. That'll do it already, though, for this playthrough of the Mysteries of Witchhaven. Now, I've been terrible about remembering to actually do this after the first video of the day, but once I get this put away, we are going to go ahead and crack our advent calendar entry for the day. And I've just about closed I actually did close my laser pointer in the player's handbook that I I didn't think that would slam down that hard. My apologies for that. We'll start getting this stuff out of the way. I'll clear that. I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup here, so bear with me just a second while I get that. Oh, I lost picture again. Hold on. There we go. Okay, now that we got that sorted out, I don't know if I had lost picture for a while there, but we'll bring the advent calendar that we've been cracking into shot. Okay. We'll grab the tweezers as well, since I've had a habit of needing those as we crack this calendar. We'll find entry number 4, and we'll see what our die is this time. There we go. I still don't know why the makers of this advent calendar packed the dice in so damn tight. But we've got the D20 from the set that we've been cracking open so far. So now we've got the D12, the D10 single digit, the D4, and the D20 to go with it. So that'll do it for this playthrough of the Mystery of Witchhaven. We'll probably have another game. We'll probably have at least one more game coming up this afternoon, but I am still expecting a big delivery coming in a little bit later this afternoon. So stay tuned for that to come on the channel. Thank you for watching this video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.